going to your butts.
My American.
I've been tracking Sasquatches for 25 years.
My American.
Global awakening to the New World Order.
My American.
Artificial intelligence android.
My American.
Do you believe in UFOs?
Yes, sir. Extraterrestrial.
You're listening to Pardon My American.
Yes, you are.
What
What is up, everybody? How is
What's
it
up?
going? Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Davey Boy got here just in time.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. What's up, dudes?
Right on.
Whoa.
Dude, we were,
Greg is blown up, dude.
God, my camera always gets moved, dude. I don't know what it is, but
I'll fix it. Just
I'm going to move over here. We can say hi to the skeleton. Oh, wait. There we go. So, yeah, we were just talking about the, what was his name?
Pelletier?
John Pelletier, the Maui police chief. He was allegedly named as a co-conspirator in the Sean Diddy Combs lawsuit. And yes,
Interesting,
this is
right?
the same head of police during the Maui massacre, the whole wildfire thing, the worst wildfire the deadliest wildfire in 100 years.
But
in US history.
also, he was also the guy that head up all the response to the Las Vegas shooting.
Yeah, the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history.
So he was the head guy in both places.
That
And
sounds.
And now he's involved in Diddy, dude. So it's like there's something going on here, bro.
Was Diddy involved with him? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. You know what?
In those cheeks?
He was in his Volve, and that was
Involved.
In vulva.
Involved.
Wow. So that happened, huh?
yeah.
What did they say what was the involvement?
Well,
they
so I saved some bookmark stuff. We can kind of like
Let's see
look
it. I want to
through
see
it.
this. Please
Okay.
do.
so
Yeah, he's being accused of being hired as security for Combs in 2018.
So we're just going off this Nick Sator one right now.
Sure. Yeah, just pick one. We can just watch a
Okay.
video, see if they explain it. But I got an article pulled up too, so just in case.
It's that bottom one right there.
There's no video here.
No, I'm just reading it here.
Oh, okay.
So he was now been named as a co-conspirator in the Diddy case. How do you say his name? Pelletier?
Pelletier?
so.
I think so, yeah.
So refresh, Chris. There's another bookmark. There's a video.
Oh.
MJ Truth Ultra. It's like a 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This woman kind of explaining it. So
Oh, okay.
let's listen to her.
Explosive allegations against Maui County Police Chief John Pelletier. A lawsuit claims that he was a cop while working for rapper Sean Diddy Combs 7 years ago. Pelletier is denying all of the allegations, but Maui's mayor is asking the police commission to put him on leave until this case is resolved. Our Eddie Dowd has the story.
Suicided.
In the nearly 90-page civil lawsuit filed by Ashley Parham and two unnamed people, Maui Police Chief John Pelletier is accused of being hired security for Sean Diddy Combs in 2018. It claims Pelletier, who was a Las Vegas police captain, posed as a sheriff deputy in California to respond to an alleged gang rape involving Combs. The alleged victim claims Pelletier told her to go home but offered no help or medical care. The woman claims Pelletier gave her an envelope to a neighbor which she believed to be full of cash. She claims Pelletier later took her and another plaintiff at gunpoint to his home, restrained them, and refused to let them call an attorney and made various moves to cover up the kidnapping. The Maui Police Department said in a statement Chief Pelletier has no connections to anyone in the lawsuit. The allegations are unfounded and false, and the plaintiffs are spreading misleading narratives. But Maui County Mayor Richard Bisson has requested that the Maui County Police Commission puts the chief on administrative leave during the investigation, saying, "This approach does not constitute a presumption of guilt, but ensures that the individual in question is not in a position that may compromise the integrity of the office while the matter is under review."
That's the only way to go about it right now.
Yeah, right.
I think that's a smart decision. Yeah.
Yeah,
But why? why say that he's guilty or not guilty and deny all the claims and say like this is a false, these allegations are false?
Well, I think that was his lawyer and everything.
Yeah,
saying
that wasn't the
that
mayor.
wasn't the mayor.
It said the police said that, didn't it? The police said that this is a false blah blah blah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the mayor.
Hold on.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Police
somewhere in
department,
the-
Maui
Oh
Police
yeah,
Department.
Maui Police Department. Yeah.
Yeah, so if the Maui Police Department says he's not guilty, leave him alone, but we're going to put him on leave. Isn't that like a counter balance there? What are we doing?
Well, the mayor is saying that he needs to go on leave.
Yeah, the
Oh,
police
okay.
the police department isn't saying he should go on leave.
It's weird that the
he
police
actually-
department did that, though. I got to be honest with you. That's
They're
weird.
like-
That's weird that they like.
instantly jumping out saying,
Yeah, because usually it would be and we've seen this before. Like the police would be like, John Pelletier or whatever. He's been a great cop for us for 10 years. We've
Right.
never known him to be such and such. We need to investigate this, make sure the public feels good about
Yeah.
this. Just the basic fucking nut grabbing, fucking kissy cheek
Yeah.
stuff. For them to come out and just like to your point, Greg, to come out and just be like,
All
he's
false.
never been tied with any of these people. How do you know that?
Like, isn't that weird?
yeah, have
That's
you
like,
done an investigation already?
I mean,
like,
it's-
what's happening?
This
Like,
lady's making some pretty bold claims. The kidnapping,
yeah,
acting
Yeah.
as a sheriff in
being,
California.
people being paid off and held at
Yep.
gunpoint. Like,
The mayor's
It's
right,
like,
though.
here, neighbor, take this pallet or this envelope of cash.
yeah,
Hey,
Yeah, it's not
hey,
good.
bitches, get in my car.
Yeah, it's not good. And here's the problem I see with this is that if it comes out to be true and he goes to court, now you got to question a lot of other shit. And people are going to be like,
You
wait a
got to
second.
question the entire police force in Maui.
Well, the police force, yeah, obviously, we saw this with Masterson. Remember that when everybody
yeah.
came out and like, he's an innocent person and then he's guilty and everybody's like, we're just friends with him. That's not a good excuse. But I'm talking about if he headed, you're saying in Vegas, if he was actually a big part of that investigation,
Yes.
what was hidden, what was lied about, if he's involved with the Maui fires, what was hidden, what was lied about, the whole police force. Also Vegas. I mean, come on, man. Did other people know about this? I'd be very curious.
Well, yeah, I think that's why he was moved to Maui, because he's someone who can keep his mouth shut and he accepts bribes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think something happened. Either he's under blackmail from this Diddy lawsuit or this Diddy involvement, and he's seen things, he's done things, right? So he kind of sounds like he's done some bad shit.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy already knows that he's done some bad shit. So he's like, hey, I got a guy, he's a good cop for
Yeah, good.
keeping stuff on the down low.
Yeah.
Let's get him plugged into this situation. Then when you have this shit go down, like the Las Vegas shooting,
yeah, we have someone in our pocket that can head it up.
Well,
Yeah.
Vegas was first, obviously, right? This whole thing, or was he with P. Diddy first?
Well,
They're saying 7 years ago.
yeah, they said 2008,
2018.
2018 he was.
When was the Vegas shooting?
2017. So
Okay,
that was first.
So he was that was first, is what they're saying. Yeah, I don't. I hope nobody's saying that like Diddy has anything to do with the shootings or anything. I'm not sure that would be the case, but obviously,
No, it's just interesting that this guy,
he's corrupt.
his involvement with Diddy sheds light on all his other fucking involvements.
Right.
Like, whoa. So right from the get-go, well, not right from the get-go, but people have contemplated whether or not the Las Vegas shooting was something weird about it. And then the Maui fires, people obviously thought there was weird shit going on. And then now this comes out, and the guy that was running both of them is involved with P. Diddy.
Was he
Like,
running
what-
that? He was running that.
Which one?
The Vegas.
What, Las Vegas?
He was the head. He was
police chief.
the head response guy.
So he's
He
the
was
one.
the,
so if we go
what
back
was it
and
called?
if we go back and look at the interviews from Vegas at that period of time, we're going to see him speaking. Like he's the one that was heading it. Okay, it's been a while. Yeah, I just don't. I want to make sure I'm speaking what happened here.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is he's being charged of covering up a gang rape, you know.
Well, that's in California, right? With Diddy.
Yeah. He's also this was also so he's also being accused of covering up a gang rape while working as a Las Vegas police captain. So he was the captain.
I know, but was he? That wasn't the Diddy thing that we just talked about?
No, so this was before the Diddy thing. So while he was working as the Las Vegas police captain, he is also involved in this cover-up of a gang rape. And then you have the Las Vegas shooting where he's the captain responding to this whole thing, right? And then he apparently either gets let go or just is working on the side for Diddy a year later. And that's what we're talking about,
So
where he's like this
apparently
co-conspirator.
he had worked for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for over 20 years.
Wow.
But why did he leave?
He left right after that shooting and then went and worked for Diddy, apparently.
Yeah. And then when did he get hired on as Lahaina or the Maui police chief?
I'm trying to figure out why he left Vegas. There is a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like for some, like I just want to know, like you're not there for 20 years, you just leave. That's a police chief. Like the news didn't say like former police chief, you know, takes a job somewhere else. There was no like accusations at the time that forced him to like move. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
I think you're right. Like the suit. So like this whole Vegas thing, like the Diddy Combs thing, was when he was the Las Vegas police captain. That's what we were just listening.
Yeah, that's what the lady was saying. That when he was the captain, that he drove to California, acted as a sheriff to cover up
deputy.
The grape situation that happened. That's why I was like confused with it. But that's a big no-no because you can't lie about what position you're in, and you can't like kidnap somebody and hold them captive and try to give them money.
It's a different state too, dude. Like he's like in California. Like
it's not good. But I feel like there has to be something.
Well, he was probably let go because of the whole like the failure of the response to this whole Las Vegas thing. Like there was like a big fucking someone had to go down for it, right?
I know, but you think that there would be some article about it.
So there's an article about him being sworn in as the police chief in Maui in 2021. December of 2021.
Look at that guy raise his arm like that. Like what in the world, man? Put that shit down. You get airing out those pits. You know what I'm saying? He's like, fuck yeah.
I do solemnly swear to cover up grapes and burn properties down so you guys can come in and steal the property and cover up a mass shooting.
Yeah, when he got sworn in, he was saying the Maui Police Department will be the People's Department.
They always invert it, you know?
Yeah, he's gonna be in a little bit of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna really open the floodgates, for better or worse, on everything else that we have not discussed for many years, right? It's just been a long time.
This isn't the only incident in Maui. So, Chris, right below this video, I bookmarked this. Maui Fire Department Battalion Chief arrested on child sex crimes. And this was back in June of 2024. So this, again, is Maui Fire Department. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
You have the police or this battalion chief arrested on sex crimes. So this link kind of goes to this Hawaii Now article where we can listen to that video if you want to. But he's alleging that this is 100% false.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. I don't even know if there's been any updates to this.
He's facing charges of sexual assault, first degree, and continuous assault with a 14-year-old. Oof.
Yep.
It started when the child was 11 or 12 years old.
Oh, boy.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
It's like all over the place in Maui.
Apparently. So, yeah, that's kind of a big swing of information right there. That guy being named a co-conspirator. I mean, it's just to be involved is one thing, but to be named a co-conspirator.
Well, there can be a lot of co-conspirators. I mean, with Diddy, there's going to be a lot. You're going to see a lot.
Yeah, but
Everybody
that means you had direct involvement in what was going on.
Well, there's a lot of them. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. We're going to find lots of people with Diddy that knew and covered or hid. I'm sure.
Being a co-conspirator, doesn't that mean you're helping facilitate things, or you're not just like someone that was around?
Listen, I would argue that
you conspired with him. Like you were part of the whole like cover up, dude. He was paid, right?
I would argue that a lot of people at the parties knew exactly what was going on, covered up, lied about it. You know what I mean? Didn't tell people what was going to happen. And that would all be co-conspirators. I think that's just, I think the name just right now, we haven't heard anybody else, but I think you're going to see a lot of people in the hip hop realm, producers, other things that knew about these things that didn't say anything and kind of allowed it to happen.
Thank you, Tony and Maribel Barbecue, for that super chat. That was very nice of you.
I could do some barbecue right now, dude. I tell you what. Thank you very much.
It makes me hungry every time we get a super chat from them.
I know.
Barbecue.
Thank you. That's
Dude,
awesome.
So yeah, thank you. And then I have an update about this, the firefighter guy, who the fire battalion chief, who was charged for sexual assault. In December of 2024, a judge dismissed the sexual assault case against him. So Sean Rogers, the 25-year-old veteran of the Maui Fire Department, had pleaded not guilty on 2 counts of sexual assault of a minor. His attorney filed for a motion of dismissal and alleged that there was misconduct by the prosecutor and the grand jury counsel during the initial presentation of evidence to the grand jury in May. And this was attorney Brandon Siegel claimed that the grand jury was discouraged from calling a witness who was waiting outside and that jurors' questions were interrupted. This
So it was like
seems
a
bunch of
mistrial
mumble.
shit, basically. I mean, there was just
So
shenanigans
this is
happening during the case.
Judge Peter Cahill agreed with the motion and dismissed the case without prejudice.
So they have to redo the case.
Well, prosecutors would have 60 days to recharge Rogers once his lawyers have filed the case factual findings, something like that. But I don't even know if this has been retried or redone anything. I wonder if this.
When was this dropped?
In December of 2024.
So they got 60 days. We would know by now, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
What's the dude's name? What's his name?
Sean Rogers. So SHAWNROGERS. Let's see. Yeah, that's like the latest article that I've found.
Damn.
Judge just dismisses it, dude.
So where do you think this is gonna go with the police chief guy? Do you think that's gonna bring in more people from each department, or maybe even like higher up within the local government of either Vegas or Maui?
I think he gets suicided, dude. Like, shut him up.
It's possible.
Maybe. Especially if he was actually that closely involved with everything. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that like people like Puff Daddy or Epstein are opportunistic people. I think there's like long stretches. Obviously, there's like Jizzy, you know what I'm saying, who's been there the whole time, for example, with Epstein. But there's just people that can help at certain points in time. I don't know if this guy has a long standing with Puff Daddy or if this is a blip in the whole.
Well, it's not just Puff Daddy, dude. He's involved with the Maui fires, Las Vegas shooting.
I know.
There's
I'm talking
a lot.
about Puff Daddy on this one. But like, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. Like, does one mean that he's guilty of all? Right? Like, so if he's guilty of this with Puff Daddy, then sure, absolutely. Does that make him guilty with the other one? It makes it questionable, right? Like, makes you have to look at it more. But how long was he a police officer for?
Before what?
How long has he been a police officer?
20 years or something?
Well, he was with them for 20 years in Vegas.
He was in Vegas for 22 years.
22. So that's a long career. I mean, that was 22 years just in Vegas. How long is he? You know, he's obviously been in Maui for another 7?
Well, if he
okay. So how long have people been in Congress? That means they can't be corrupted?
No,
or what are you talking about?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like one thing doesn't make the entire thing bad. We're gonna have to find that out. Like, if he did something later in his career, doesn't mean that he's always done something in his career. So
it's very fishy, though. I mean, of
course it's
pretty
fishy.
Suspect.
Of course it is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm also saying that like I don't know. I feel like the Vegas. Let me just say this. I guess I feel like the Vegas thing was way bigger than just the police department. Now, could they have covered stuff up? Possibly, but like I have a feeling that was beyond the police department. So how much did he have involved with that? I don't know. I'm not saying I know anything other that anybody else doesn't know. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like this is a police level thing. I feel like the FBI or CIA or somebody else was involved with this, and the police department maybe was not even in the knowing of what's going on.
If it was a thing that was orchestrated by one of those agencies, they're going to use the local police as a resource to, like, they're just not going to have a bunch of agents going in and doing all the shit.
Why wouldn't they?
Huh?
Why? Why would you want a bunch of local police? Let me just ask
so
you.
your hands aren't dirty.
No, I think that, like, why would you want local police department, right? Who may or may not have been on the force for 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, 10, you know, all variations, touching things that you were involved with. Let's say it's a government situation. Why would you want them to even see anything or even try to you don't know them. You have no prior history with them. You don't want them fucking up your job. So you would just say, stand down. We got this. The FBI's got this now. Thank you. You can go ahead and watch the outside, make sure nobody comes in. I don't really know how much involvement they would have. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't.
When you're talking about this, like, this is an unsolved situation. I mean, technically unsolved. You guys really think that this
Vegas
is
shooting, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean that as they didn't say who they thought it was or what happened. I'm saying that there's a lot of questions behind it still to this day, that it doesn't make sense, right? Do you really think the police department is involved with that, or do you really think that's way above their heads? Because I think it's way above their heads.
I think they were initially involved with, like, the 911 calls, because there were 911 calls all
100%.
over Las Vegas that night, right?
100%.
There were, like, actually reports of multiple shooters, not just one.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they get involved at, but, like, the main vein of this whole thing, like, Peter, whatever the fuck his name was.
It's been
Rasic?
a minute. Yeah. I don't remember.
Something, I forget the guy's name. But, like, the shooter, like,
Supposed.
that, I believe, was taken over by the FBI, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And that whole story is just bizarre. Like, it never made sense.
Yeah. No, listen, I definitely think that he's corrupt. There's no doubt about it. I think as this unfolds and he gets tried or found guilty of this particular thing, I think that opens the door for them to say, well, I mean, obviously he was involved with Vegas. Obviously he was involved with Maui. If he's guilty of this and was corrupt, then we also have to take a look at the other things. And at due time and due process, we'll see what involvement there was, if any. Now, if he was corrupt, hypothetical, let's say Vegas, he wasn't corrupt. Let's say he was just, maybe he's a little dirty, but not super corrupt, right? Then he gets involved with Diddy. Then he does this shit. Now he becomes super corrupt.
But what would make him get involved with Diddy?
Well,
like,
Vegas.
what makes a person kind of just do that?
Money, dude. Yeah, money.
Maybe he was like,
celebrities.
He's already been in there for 20 some years, and maybe he was looking ahead at retirement, and like he was like, I got offered this security job for this fucking high end celebrity for way more money.
So it's like the episode of A Shield.
And then he got roped into a bunch of shit, and now they got him forever.
Well, listen, I understand at the time of this, like, obviously there were maybe questions around P. Diddy, but we didn't maybe at the time know the extent of it all, right? There were certain people talking about it, but it wasn't really out there that P. Diddy was like a terrible human being, like that kind of stuff. Maybe, you get a little star in the eye, right? This is Puff Daddy approaches you. Maybe he feels like you got a little,
like a brown eye?
Sure. Yeah, man, a little pink guy. Little pink guy.
Little starfish.
Hey, listen, man. Hey,
a little winky twinky.
We'll throw you a couple bills. You know what I'm saying? Here's $1 million, man. You're gonna come work for us. I get to work for Puff Daddy. Now I'm just saying, back then, just you're a cop. You're like, hey, I got a side gig. I'm doing security for Puff Daddy, bro.
Well, he wasn't Puff Daddy anymore.
I'm just saying, how does Puff Daddy get your contact, dude? You know what I mean? Like, someone knew that this guy was a dirty cop,
or at least
must have,
or at least wouldn't have a problem with doing dirty shit,
and gave Puff Daddy the dirty cop's contact and said, get a hold of this guy. If you want him to cover up and act like a cop, you need a cop here.
That's
He'll
true.
Be your cop.
Because the only way he would, unless somebody gave him his information, maybe he worked security at a P. Diddy show in Vegas or something.
Yeah, maybe there's like some older,
I get what you're saying. I don't disagree necessarily, but all cops get corrupted at some point. They're not corrupt, and then they become corrupt at some point.
All
right?
cops?
No, I'm
not
sorry.
about all.
No, listen, I said that wrong. I apologize. I'm saying any
All
cop,
cops
any
get
cop
corrupted
that
at some
is
point.
corrupt,
Yeah, that's
Any
eventually
cop
going to happen.
that is corrupt was corrupted at some point, right?
Yeah.
And so that doesn't mean they were dirty before. It means that they had an opportunity, and somebody offered them enough money or threatened them with something. And who knows? You know what I'm saying? Maybe there was something more. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe they said, hey, this guy's been on the force for a long time. He's a badass. Diddy, you'd like him. And then he gets in with Diddy. He's like, fuck, this is sick, dude. I'm at Diddy's house. I'm partying. There's celebrities around me. Hey, man.
I'm lying. I'm forcing
No.
women at
Money-
gunpoint
money
to get in my
speaks,
car.
bro.
And then
Money
and then
speaks.
one night he's like, "Whoa, wait a second, what the fuck's going on here?" And he goes, he slides him a bill. He's like, "Don't worry about that.
You want to continue working with me, man?
Yeah. You just take this money and go have fun.
How about you just forget what you saw? Here's $100,000."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or he fucking made it, or he hooked him up with a minor and blackmailed his ass.
Yeah,
Who the fuck
exactly.
You go to
Fucking that's
listen.
what I'm
Let's
thinking, dude.
say you're legit as fuck. Let's say you're a legit cop, absolutely legit, dude. By the books, great. You become security for Puff Daddy.
You got some baby oil
You're
on.
at his party. Diddy's like, hey man, you want to get a little action, dude? Here's this chick. Go
what it is.
take her upstairs. He goes upstairs, bangs her, films the whole thing. Right? They film the whole thing. They say, hey,
Pussy problem.
hope you like that 14-year-old you just banged. And he's like, what the? Hey man, you better do what we got. We got the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a police chief. Think about what this is gonna do.
I mean, that's assuming that he didn't realize the girl was 14. I mean, usually if someone's banging an underage girl that young, I think that they would have to know.
I don't think you really know what's going on when you're covered in baby oil.
What kind of drugs?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying.
My memory gets
I'm just saying.
clouded.
What kind of drugs are involved? What kind of shit was involved? You know what I'm saying? Like, was he drugged? All hypothetical, obviously. I'm just saying there are avenues where all of a sudden you're in a real bad predicament, and maybe you didn't want that. Maybe you did. Maybe you were a piece of shit, and this was all fun and games for you. You know what I'm saying? But there's two ways to look at it. I don't think we're gonna know anything until they have this trial.
I agree with you. I just found something that's interesting about this firefighter that we were talking about, who was allegedly charged with like child molestation. And this judge who just dismissed this case, his name was Peter Cahill or C.A. Hill. And so I looked up Peter Cahill, and he was the judge who convicted Derek Chauvin of murdering George Floyd. Wrongfully so, because George Floyd suffocated, right? He was on drugs. He took that pill, the photo of the pill in his mouth, like he was on drugs when he died. Even though Derek Chauvin shouldn't have had his fucking knee on his neck like that for so long, but listen to this. I found this Newsweek article from 2020. It says, "Who is Peter Cahill? Former Senator Klobuchar's assistant is now the judge in George Floyd case." And you know who Senator Klobuchar is, right? The guy with like the white fluffy hair.
Yeah.
Huge Democrat. Like fucking the fucking leftiest
Pull it up so they
of
can
lefty.
see what he looks like. So just in case.
Klobuchar?
Klobuchar.
Yeah, let me see if I can bookmark something, because it's a difficult.
When you
last
first said it, I thought it was the
What's
woman.
what's his first name?
I don't know. I'm just. Oh wait, never mind. This is Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, that's what I said. The woman, dude. That's what.
Who am I thinking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. White, crazy hair. Al
She's
Sharpton?
the one that hates Trump.
Am I thinking
dude.
of White House? I'm thinking of White House, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say Klobuchar is the one that really despises Trump.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I just bookmarked a video of her, so that way you can see what she looks like, dude.
Yep.
I'm Klobuchar, and I'm here to take down Donald Trump. Even though I love him.
She looks like a character in SNL. You know what I'm saying? Like when
Yes.
SNL like decides what they think that person looks like, she looks like that is like a made up version of what a
Like
politician
the
looks
eyebrows,
right.
look how thin, like the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
She
that. You know
looks
that
like-
funny looking woman that always is with what's his face? You know what I'm talking
What?
about? Oh god damn, what's his name, dude? Talladega Nights. What's his name? I'm brain
Ricky
fart.
Bobby?
No, what's the actor? The Talladega Nights guy. What's his name?
Will Ferrell?
Will
Yeah,
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. She's the one that she's kind of funny looking SNL chick that always does skits with
Oh,
Will
yeah.
Ferrell.
And she's sitting up there going, "You just feel the rumbling between my legs." Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, I think that might be it. Maybe.
She's sitting up
Okay.
in the booth.
She was Debbie Downer.
I
She had
forget.
that Debbie
She also
Downer
did,
thing.
what's that one where, God, I think it was also with Will Ferrell.
Are you sure you're thinking of the same person? I feel like the rumbling between my legs is not the same girl.
I think it is. Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
She's also
Well, I mean, bottom line is Klobuchar looks like an SNL lady. She's
Oh,
the
yeah, I'm
she's the
thinking of somebody else.
Democratic
Yeah.
senator.
Tell me that doesn't look
of-
like her.
what's her
Wait,
name?
what?
Hold on.
Tell me
what's-
that doesn't look like her. Can you see
Yeah,
that?
dude. Yes,
That's her. It's literally
the
her.
freaking bird lady from SNL, dude. She looks like a bird.
This
that's
whole still frame looks like a live action scene of The Simpsons.
Rachel Dratch.
Oh yeah.
All right. I got
Like
sidetracked.
they all could be Simpsons characters.
Is that Jerry Nadler in the background right there? With that neck, all that neck.
This guy?
No.
What you gonna
he's
do
too
with
happy.
all that neck? Neck, huh?
Jerry Nadler never smiles, dude.
That's true.
When's the last time you saw
Is
that
that guy
smile?
still alive?
So, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
But just going back to this judge, he's like a former assistant of Senator Klobuchar in Minnesota. So he's already like super far left.
Yeah.
He gets appointed to this George Floyd case, which was the biggest fucking case
Of at least of
like
that
the
year,
2020 area,
Yeah.
right? And then like all of a sudden he gets appointed to this Chimo case and just dismisses it willy-nilly. What's going on here?
Well, I mean, cases are dismissed, to be fair, and they should absolutely, with this evidence, bring charges back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
But they never did.
But that would, my question would be more towards his lawyer or the people that the defendant's lawyers. You know what I'm saying? The ladies, right?
Yeah.
Who was? I'm mixing up the case because we've talked about it a bunch, but this
to
was
be fair.
the accusations were against whoever the
They
girls
would have
were.
brought it back up.
They would have brought it back up. There would have been evidence. Like, no, a mistrial. We need to go again.
Yeah, this says 60 days to recharge Rogers once his lawyer has filed the case's factual findings. So we don't know when the lawyer actually filed the case factual findings.
Yeah.
Because from that day, it's 60 days after that.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is if this girl or her parents or whoever was the one that brought this out, if they don't continue to go after this guy, then that says more about them than it does anybody else, right? Like, what was it, a lie? Was it made up? You know what I mean? But obviously, if that was your kid, you would absolutely not just be like, well, we tried, guys. You're going to continue. You're going to continue to like go through the legal system, get this guy thrown in jail for the rest of his life, that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're going to do. But like mistrials and those things do happen for like bullshit technicalities, which there's a ton of them. It can be as simple as like miswording in documents, and all of a sudden you have to have a mistrial.
Because like normally when I think of like women lying about the whole like sexual misconduct stuff, it's usually when they're older in life and then they remember something 25, 30 years ago, and you're like, okay, come on. And it's like at an opportune moment when a judge is just having a hearing to get elected and all this stuff or get into the position. This is a 14-year-old girl who was talking about being molested 2 to 3 years prior.
So she's now, or was 17, right? That's what it is.
I think she's 14 still. It says Maui, this was back in 2024. Maui Fire Department Battalion Chief Sean Rogers, 52, is facing charges for sex assault in the first degree and continuous sex assault of a minor under the age of 14 years. Oh, okay, never mind. So it took place between 2019 and 2021.
So
she was
4 or 5 years ago. So she's now 18, 19 years old.
She might be about 17-ish.
Oh, yeah,
I think she was 11 or 12
when it started.
But this is between 2019 and 2021.
Yeah, so she was 11 or 12 in 2019. 11 years old in 2019. Let's just hypothetically say that's what they're saying.
Right.
So 6 years ago, she's now 17, 18-ish years old. So it's not like it's 20 years ago. It's not like it's 10, 15 years ago. It's just a fairly recent situation that's been going on. Damn.
I wonder if she was given a lot of money to shut up.
I don't know. I mean,
we'll pay for your college tuition.
Something happened. Parents found something. You know what I'm saying? Some old messages.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's gross, dude. It's really, really gross.
It'll be really interesting to see what other information comes out about this Pelletier guy. What other
Pelletier?
Yeah, because what other accusations or people he's been involved with? Because you know that's going to come out.
Possibly. Or he's going to die like Greg said.
I mean, that's a very high possibility.
There's a good chance.
I mean, what's easier to clean up, dude?
Hanging from a tree with a gunshot wound to yourself?
Oh, it's the absolute perfect kind of thing, because they're like, this decorated cop took his life because he just couldn't bear. He spent his whole career as a public servant, and now it's in shambles. And he's defamed, and police already commit suicide at high rates, and this was the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and it's going to get washed right away.
Right. Well,
You know?
dude, you know who's loving this right now? The Clintons. Because all the attention's off them. There's like, finally, someone else touched a kid except for us. Jesus.
Listen, I'm putting about a 60. I'm going to say 60%. That just came to my mind, so I'm going to say
What?
a 60% chance that he's worked with the Clintons at some point too. Why not? Why
I
not?
mean,
Vegas, police chief, all over the place.
Worked security at one of their talks.
It's like
or
6 degrees. 6 degrees away from Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
6 degrees from a
Hillary
Clinton crime.
Yeah, I would argue 2 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Like he might be right there. You know, who knows? I don't know. I'm making.
I'm
going
gonna
to
say 33 degrees.
33 degrees.
Ooh, probably. Right up
Damn,
in there,
dude.
isn't he?
God damn.
Damn, dude. Name one song.
What?
What's that band? 33. What was that band?
98 degrees?
Oh, 98 degrees. That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
I was going boy band.
that's weird.
I don't know why. Yeah, listen, the guy's corrupt. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably a lot more involved than we probably know. He's probably been corrupted since the Las Vegas.
Weird that it took that long, though. I got to be honest with you.
To name him as a co-conspirator?
I just like I feel like if the woman was trapped and kidnapped and had all this shit happen, like why wasn't that said years ago? You know what I mean? Like, or was it?
Well,
said?
the lawsuit is just now happening.
I know, but I'm talking about just why would you not go to the police department and be like, this gentleman, here he is, this is his name, or you know, I know he was.
Well, because it's the same
They
reason.
probably don't trust the police, dude. Like, would you? Like, this is one of them. Like, you have good cops in there, right? But you also have the bad cops that can find out what's going on and deter the good cops out of the way and be like, bro, here's.
Well, and it's the same reason nobody comes forward when anything happens right away in the first place.
Right.
I call
Either
bullshit.
shock or fear or whatever the
That's
fuck
dumb.
it is.
I know, but nothing's gonna happen.
I know it's dumb.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Like if something happens like that, they should come forward to somebody who can do something immediately.
I mean, I would just argue that more cops are good humans than are not good humans. That's my belief on it. And like, here's the thing: if this guy went to Los Angeles, is what he's saying. He went from Vegas to Los Angeles, acted as a sheriff, right? Mm-hmm. She obviously knew that because she brought it up in the case that he wasn't from there, or found out that he wasn't actually a sheriff there. It's not like you're going to the Vegas police that he works for. You're in California with a different police department. You say, hey, this dude kidnapped me. And he said that he was a sheriff in LA County or wherever it was and found out that he's actually in Vegas. Like, please help me. I'm sorry, but like, that's the right thing to do. I hate the shit of like, well, I don't trust police. Well, now we're years removed. And now it's going to be much harder. It's just going to be a lot harder to prove shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have the evidence? Do you have the dress that you were wearing that night? Do you have the fucking P. Diddy cum stain still on the blue dress? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you probably don't. You don't have the evidence.
Do you have a sample of the baby oil he used?
Yeah, I'm just saying now Diddy's going to, you know, if he's in jail, but he's going to come out and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen her. You know how many people I've seen? We've heard that all the same talking points. I don't know who she is. Never seen her before. She's lying, you know, and then she's going to have to prove it. And do you have the evidence 6 years later, 5 years later, whatever it was? Do you have the evidence? I don't know, man. That's just frustrating because these people get away with this shit because people don't say something.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah, I'm seeing like a snippet of this court document. So in the bookmark by Nick Sorter, you see like this snippet of, I don't know what page this is, but it's just like defendant John Lawrence Pelletier is an individual who resides and is domiciled in Nevada or Hawaii. But it also talks about defendant Odell Beckham Jr.
No shit.
Oh, dude, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, as an individual who resides in and is domiciled in Florida, previously referred to as John Doe in plaintiff Parham's original complaint. So now Odell Beckham Jr. is getting caught up in this. And remember, there was that video of him and Justin Bieber dancing in a club, but they weren't dancing. Justin Bieber was down, had it on his knees. And Odell Beckham Jr. had his pants down, and the camera pans over, and he's pulling up his pants real hurriedly, and then like Justin Bieber pops up, it's like, what?
Well, isn't it true that everybody thought Odell Beckham was gay? I mean, wasn't that the thing that they thought he was gay for years? Like he's a very,
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't know that, but
yeah,
I remember from the very beginning that
was he play tennis?
Might as well now.
I don't
as
know
well, dude,
anything
yeah.
about this guy. I know he's famous. Obviously, I know the name. I've heard the name. He's a football player, right?
I think he's still in the NFL.
I don't know
Is
if he
he
is.
still?
I don't know if he is still.
I think he is. I think I heard his name last year. He had like one catch or something. I was like, what?
Look that shit
Odell
up.
Beckham Jr. still in the NFL? No way.
Let's see if he is actually. I mean, he was good at touching balls. You know what I'm saying? He could remember he had that.
Yeah.
That's true.
He did have. I mean, I'll give him this much, man. I don't know
Grab
about
those balls.
Don't know what his history is, and if he's guilty, then shame on him, right? But he had one of the greatest catches of all time in football. I mean,
Yeah.
that behind the fucking. Remember that fucking grab where it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He knows how to grab him.
It's listed still as the number one catch ever.
There it is. There's that catch right there, man. Phew. It's amazing. So is he not playing?
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was released by Miami Dolphins in December 2024 after appearing in 9 games during the 2024 season, where he recorded 9 catches for 55 yards. Not good.
So he's not playing right.
No.
Like this
Nope.
year.
He was released.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why was he released?
He's
Well, the
just-
Dolphins didn't make the playoffs in December, and so that's when they just cut everybody.
that and also
Fuck
like
everybody, we're done.
let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, he really hasn't been a significant piece of a team for a long time. Didn't he go to the Browns for a while and shit it
Yeah.
out there and then moved around a little bit? He's above his fucking, his age and shit. He's above the prime. You know what I
He's
mean?
retirement age.
Yeah, I mean, but that dude is questionable. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a little questionable, but eesh, he's in this. Eesh.
Not good.
No,
He's
man.
a little zesty, dude.
I mean, right now, anybody that has any kind of like relationship with Diddy, you're not in a good spot. Like now they're all questionable.
Well, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of people defending that they didn't partake, and same with Epstein, right? Everybody is like,
Yeah.
"I never did that. I went one time, and I thought it was just a dinner party." You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see that because the parties, unfortunately for them, with Diddy, there was a lot of cameras in a lot of these places, especially the beginning of the party. So you'll see the celebrities hanging out.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to defend yourself. I mean, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but you have to. I mean, if
Dude,
you're there,
go to the bookmarks real quick. This is the video of Odell Beckham being caught with Justin Bieber. And you tell me what Justin Bieber's doing and if Odell
I've
Beckham
seen
has his
this.
pants down, dude. You tell me.
I don't know.
You got to
Let's see.
mute this crap, though. Mute it
Oh, okay.
because it's nuts.
Literally.
There's Odell, like, right, what? And they look at the camera like, what? You're recording? See Odell right there? Looks like he has his pants down,
You can't see his pants, though, man.
Like, where did Bieber come from though?
right?
He came from.
See, look, right there. Look at his ass. You can see Odell's ass
You can see
at
his
the very
ass.
beginning of the video. Go to the
Hold
very
on,
beginning.
hold
You can see skin.
No, you
on. No.
no, you can't. That's
That's
Puff
skin
Daddy's
down there,
arm,
dude.
That's his arm. What are you talking about?
That's his arm?
That's Puff Daddy's arm that you're seeing right there. That's
Oh, okay.
I don't. Yeah, listen. I've seen. Listen.
But Bieber's head was down there the whole time.
Right? And like Odell's
And
looking
then,
like,
and then,
what?
like, look right down the bottom corner. He turned, like, his head. He turns around and gets up, and he's like, "Oh," and his lips are shiny.
See? Like, why is your mouth all wet, bro? He looks like he's sleepy. Like, oh, what's this bright light doing in my face? Oh, I gotta get closer. Take a look.
God.
I mean, it's not. Listen, it's not a great video. Like, however far you want to take it, that's fine. But the fact that Bieber's got a lot to say too. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a lot to say.
Oh
about
yeah, I
what-
guarantee Bieber knows some shit.
Oh, he knows
I'm
shit.
surprised he hasn't been called forward in anything like this yet.
The question with Bieber will be: were you a victim, or were you a perpetrator of this whole thing as well? Or were you a victim that turned to a person that also did stuff? Now, the demeanor that he's had over the past couple of years seems to indicate that he's a victim. I'm just saying, just surface level kind of viewing it, right? Like, he's been really emotional. He's gone through some weird changes, got a lot more religious.
He looks like a hobo now.
He looks off his rockers a little
Yeah,
bit.
he looks.
Dude,
he like went
Bieber?
Britney.
Yeah.
He would like went.
I don't
Britney
think he
Spears
ever
on
was. I think the religious thing was fucking fake, dude. That whole Manson, Ye, Bieber thing. I don't think that was real, like, Christianity. I feel like that might have been some other type of church that they might have been trying to get into.
Listen, I am not gonna even try to say that he's religious or not. Like, I don't know him. I don't know. That's not, like, that wasn't a blip of 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still to this day talks about religion and talks about different things that he's felt with religion. So I'm not sure that that was...
so does Ye, but, like, look what else Ye does. And, like, Marilyn Manson, like, it just seems like the Christian audience or base is easy to take advantage of. I don't want to, like, make fun of Christians here, but they're very easy to, like, just like accept you because you believe in Jesus. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
I know there's a lot of Christians that were also looking at that, like, skeptically, being like, wait, Marilyn Manson now? And, like, I guess, like, Kanye was doing, like, this whole, like, speaking about Jesus as king, you know, putting out religious albums. But then he, like, started, like, talking about, like, putting out his own porno site, you know, and then, like...
I understand. It's a case by case basis, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to, like, knock somebody down that actually is going through a change that's better. You know what I'm saying? If somebody is finding God and they're becoming this. Now, all of them, with the exception of Kanye is just, he's out there, dude. I mean, he's just an out there human being. I'm not real sure.
He likes to make money, and that's why I think that they did a religious album, because they wanted to sell to that base, the Christian base. That's all it was. It was a moneymaker.
Bieber, just listening to him, I mean, obviously, like, my kids liked his music. I've seen him in concert, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I think he's a good, good musician. My wife likes him. I listen to him. I watch his live performances. I watch interviews with him, just other people as well. But I feel he's more sincere than Kanye, without a question. I feel like when I watch him, I'm like, the dude's like a really emotional person right now. So whether he went through some shit and he's dealing with that trauma now, I don't know what it is. I definitely believe him more than Kanye. Kanye, I think, was trying to make money, like you said. I think that was a money grab. Manson, I don't know, man. I'll say this. Like, he obviously has some accusations that came up with him. He's now sober. Like, I've been following his stuff recently just because I've always enjoyed his music and stuff too. But the dude's lost a ton of weight. He looks healthy now. He's finally, like, looks like the person that he's always been before the past 10 years of just crazy drug abuse and shit. And his demeanor on stage, watching his recent performances, is very different than he used to be. Like, a lot more humbled, a lot more, like, so I don't know. I mean, like, of course Manson's Manson. Like, he's, he has that kind of thing around him that everybody expects him to be this person, right? But I don't want to say that somebody can't change that's like that. They absolutely can. You know what I mean? And I think Christians are okay to, like,
I would say, like, people can change, but, like, when you're that rich and when you see, like, kind of what they did with the whole thing and where the trajectory went after a couple years, it's like it was a fad. It was there just for, like, a couple, like, maybe a year, maybe two, and then it just fell off a cliff. And then they're like, I don't know.
But who
like,
are you talking about? Like, Bieber? Because I still see interviews where he's, like, getting in depth with, like, talking about Jesus and following Jesus now. Like, I don't think that's a fad. I'm not going to speak for Manson. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Kanye, but, like, I don't think that they're all just in that moment for a minute. I'm sure some are, to some extent.
Yeah, well, maybe Bieber. I mean, maybe, like, he's gone through a bunch of shit, as a kid, and he's looking for a way out of things. So, like, maybe him. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like, I'll say this. He's at the age right now, especially, because he's obviously a lot younger than us, but he's at the age where that's when you start thinking about things differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not in the limelight as much as he was 10, 15 years ago, right? He was obviously massive. And maybe some of the trauma came through. Maybe he's actually been dealing with that shit. I mean, we saw his face all paralyzed and shit from the shot. Maybe. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying.
The
maybe,
Pfizer smile.
I think Hollywood will eat you up at some point, and you handle that two different ways. You get even more involved with it, or you completely want to leave it. You know what I'm saying? And so
you lose your mind.
Yeah, I'm curious where he is. I guess I'm trying to say is, like, I don't want to put judgment on somebody when I don't know for sure. You know what I mean? Like, Kanye, I would almost bet you that he's not genuine. I just, that's my gut feeling. But I don't want to, I don't know. I think that's when you're saying Christians are gullible. Like, yes, but they also want to see people turn to God. You know what I'm saying? So when they see it, they may be quick to be like, yay, you know, he's one of us now. Like, he found God. He's saved, you know. Maybe they jumped the gun a little too much. I don't know. But maybe, I don't know that they ever jumped on the Manson train with it, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's like you look at the album sales and how many Christians bought Kanye's. I mean, I'm sure we can look up the metrics, you know, and that's just like, that's what it is. It's when you're putting out an album, and that's why like Kanye does all these stupid things, like wearing like the swastika shit and like doing all that, you know, he does that whenever he's going to put out an album because it gets people talking about him and he's in the news and it's like, oh, Kanye, his album's dropping. Oh,
yeah, for sure. Now, I would argue that, like, Christianity, like the music, Christian music is not the most popular as far as, like, in the realm of...
It's not, but it's getting better, dude.
No.
Like,
listen, I've always... there's some great Christian metal bands. I'm not...
They used to be bad. They used to be real
bad. The mid-90s were pretty rough, dude. There's some pretty rough. But my point is, like, I would argue that,
there's
like...
a lot of pretty rough stuff in the mid-90s.
Yeah, that's true. There's some great music, though, but... I would argue that Kanye going to do a Christian album probably hurt his sales more than helped his sales. That's for sure, because I don't know how many people.
Well, didn't he
look up his numbers?
Didn't he take like a hiatus for a while and then came back super religious and was dropping like religious raps and stuff?
Oh, I don't
Isn't
know.
that when he popped back on scene and like blew up again or something? I think I remember him disappearing off the hip hop scene.
Well, he got locked up in the like mental hospital,
and then he came back and was like rapping about religion a lot and shit.
But he had a handler, remember his gym guy?
He had like a conservatorship or something, didn't he?
No, it wasn't that. He just had a handler who basically said that he would drug him up again, and that way he'd never
I
get
do
to see
remember
it.
that.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember.
Charlie Pasternak or something.
Yeah,
dude.
He ended up being a weird guy.
So his album sales, just for reference, don't know if it's all accurate completely, but his first album, The College Dropout, which was one of his biggest albums, sales 3,358,000, right? Mm-hmm. Sales on his second album, which was Late Registration, 3.1 million. So big. 2.7 million on Graduation, still a big album for him. And then the 808 and Heartbreak, that was a huge album. 1.7 went down, right? Mm-hmm. As we keep going, I'm not going to name all the albums, but 1.3, 750,000, 30,000.
Oh, geez.
On The Life of Pablo, 156,000 on Ye, and Jesus is King was 109,000. Now,
see, I have different numbers here. I just looked it up on Grok.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Ye in 2018 over 500,000 just in U.S. sales, certified gold.
Well, is it total sales or per album?
This is U.S. only, by the way. You're probably looking at national sales, but I'm talking about just U.S.
This is U.S. only.
Okay.
This is this is sales. So total sales.
So sales of all his music.
Sales by album.
Oh, okay.
Focusing primarily on first week sales in the United States. So this is just first week sales. Okay. Yeah, so this is first week sales, but then you have a total. But yeah, so like it definitely is going down, but I think he went to like this whole app thing, right? Like Donda was all like sold by an app.
Yeah.
But like the total sales are over 500,000. Donda had over 1 million.
I'm with you. So maybe these are off. I told you, I'm not sure. And they probably are. But regardless of that, though, he's not. I mean, you're talking about Kanye West, right? Arguably, they say one of the best rappers of all time. Like he's in the talk of one of the great rappers, you know. And his numbers go down, significantly down.
I think that's because he just keeps getting crazier, dude.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is,
if people are just like, dude.
If Slipknot came out with a Christian album next month, I don't think it would do as well as any of their other albums. And it's just because the audience is like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they'll listen to it, but they're like, I don't know what to think about this. You know what I mean? If Manson created a Christian album, it'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Like you were
know
saying,
what I mean?
like his sales were going down, and then so he switched it up, put out a Christian album to try to get a new fan base, right? You got to try to make fans somewhere. So why not put a twist in the knife and try
Well, I
this
think
out?
his sales were going down after that.
Nope.
No, they were
before
going
that.
down. They were going down before. They were dropping
Right.
significantly before that. So you're right. Could be a strategic move to try to get some people, right? That's true. But you know, I don't know what the Christian market is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lot of Christian musicians who do well. There's no doubt. But it's also like compared to pop or hip hop or rock, even like I don't know that the numbers are even close to the same. So I don't know. Like with Beyonce, Beyonce went to country, right? She put out a country album, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Album
You're like,
of the year.
yeah, right. Greatest album of all time.
That's the only time she could win it.
But my point is like Post Malone, country. Now I'm not saying Post Malone's not huge, but the idea is country is a huge market. You know what I'm saying? And so why would you do a country album? Well, there's a ton of people that like the crossing of hip hop and country.
to you.
So you're making my point.
Except that I don't know that Christian music is the same. That's all I'm trying to say.
This said Kanye's gospel pivot buoyed by 196.9 million streams in its first week.
Mhm.
That's almost 200 million streams in its first week. That's huge, dude.
That's obvious, though. That's obvious. Kanye comes out and says, I'm putting out a Christian album. Who does? I listened to the album twice probably in that first week. I haven't listened to it once since. So my point is like when somebody comes out, you're like, what is this about? I want to hear it. What's he doing? Okay, it's not that good. I'm just being honest with you. It's not a great album. It's not an enjoyable album. If you listen to his older shit, I'm not fucking rocking that shit all the time. So if somebody does something crazy, it's not... Now, how fast did that drop off would be my question. Week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, or whatever going down. I would imagine that it didn't sustain at all.
But I mean, it's worth a market to dip in, right? If you want to make a buck, let's go Christian for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? It just makes sense. I'm not like
with
don't
Kanye,
have to be right here.
No.
I'm just saying. Like
No
you
one
have
said you had
200
to be
million
right.
streams
No one
in
said
the
you had to
first
be right.
week.
I'm
and
trying to
have
give you
over
other
500 albums sold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
So
I would just argue like make better rap music. That's what you're good at. You did it for a long time, and then your music sucked. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like if you just went back to like what made you so good, he would be a multi-million selling record still to this day.
Well, that's the thing with
he's just weird
with almost all artists, right? They start to change it up, and then people are like, "Why don't you just do what you did?"
But there's like not a lot of resemblance at all of what he did before. And that's the thing is artists change, but you still hear it, right? Like even if it's your least favorite album, you're like, this is just an experimental album. It still sounds, there's elements that's like, and I don't think Kanye's new shit sounds anything like his old shit. There's not the happiness, the party vibes, the fucking great lyrics that he's always had before. Like it's just a very like, it's a meme. There's literally like people making like Kanye 2012, Kanye 2022, right? Like, what he sounded like then, what he sounds like now, it's almost uninspiring music.
I think he forgot how to rap.
like back in the day, he was mixed up with Jay-Z and all that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, maybe he had better production than he has now. Like because Jay-Z, I don't know, but also, what did he see, dude? Like, what was he part of? What did he like?
That's what I'm saying.
Turned him.
I think he lost his fucking mind. Either he's playing this weird fucking character for some reason, or he's just lost his fucking mind.
He's lost his mind.
So if you've
mind.
completely lost your mind, then you don't know what. Like he's not gonna be who he was. He's forgot how to rap. They
fucked with his mind with drugs too. I mean, like, that Pasternak guy said he like got him on drugs so that way he couldn't see his kids, and he's gonna do it again. Like, what?
The thing with Kanye that's different than some is that he's not a stupid human either. You know what I'm saying? Like he does have, or has at least had, good thoughts about things and good ideas about things and have thought out things. And then when you tie that in with also being a little delusional and a little bit crazy, it's like a scary cocktail that's happening. Mm-hmm. You know, because a lot of times you see those crazies and they're just like, they're not an intelligent person necessarily, so they just sound wacky. You know what I mean? Like it's just wacky. But he actually makes good points on certain things. But then he comes across and wears a swastika t-shirt, and you're like, God, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like, I just supported you when you were talking about this because you're right, and then now you're doing this and you're making us all look bad. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
It was almost like once he started dating Kardashian, you know, that's when it got fucking weird, bro. Like when they broke up, it got fucking real weird, dude. Started wearing like the mask everywhere.
Yeah, and the side
Did the
chick is like weird.
Balenciaga.
They're getting divorced
like
now, I think.
The naked chick.
After the was it the Oscars that she showed up naked at
He like forced her to like
or
take her
something?
clothes off.
And I read somewhere since that they have like now they're getting a divorce after the Oscars happen. Like almost
he
like
has another album
either
coming out.
she
He's
couldn't
gotta
she couldn't take
maintain it.
anymore, or maybe they're just trying to get attention.
Yeah,
I mean-
I think it's all about attention, dude.
What will be sad?
good at it.
What will be really sad is someday when this all comes out and everybody knows what Hollywood is and what the music industry is, like fully knows, right? Like it's exposed and we understand. The sad part will be having to like go back and go, damn, how many good people or talented people got, to Greg's point, like being drugged and being
Just
like
ruined.
just ruined, like absolutely ruined. Like, and you could all say that Kanye's nuts and it's his doing. But is there more to it? That would be my big thing in 10 years. Is like, was Bieber just doing his thing and then he got ruined? Did Kanye get ruined by the,
I mean, look at Britney Spears. Look at Amanda Bynes.
Look
dude.
at all
I
of
mean,
them.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sad part is that they were genuinely talented people. Enough that they sold millions of records and were amazing shows and they did all these great things, and then all of a sudden they're
They just lost their
nutcases.
shit.
Absolute nutcases.
Yeah,
Ah.
I believe there is a weird fucking darkness that surrounds Hollywood and the music industry. But like you said, until that fully comes out about what that is, no one's ever going to know for sure what actually happens. But clearly there's something that puts people in a breaking point because it happens way too often.
Yeah, I'm just curious if there's
To
ever
a
going to be a
lot.
point where we have to, like, we can justify the reason for it and actually not blame them for it. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that's ever a thing where we don't blame some of these people because we're like, wow, after seeing what they all had to go
What they
through,
were put through.
that's like blaming people at the mental facility for getting lobotomies, dude. It's literally the same shit. Like, they get into this place
Yeah.
and they get these things done to them and they are not the same, and everybody makes fun of them because they're fucking not there. But it's like, did they really ask for that? Some did, but did they all? You know what I mean? I guess would be my question, but.
Or how many asked for it not knowing what they were going to get into.
Yeah, you sign a deal with the devil. It sounds good in that moment because you're getting everything that you want, but you become a fucking schizo afterwards.
The devil plays games.
Anyways,
Isn't that how it's always portrayed? Like somebody makes or like with a genie or something. Even you get rub the lamp, you get 3 wishes, and you make your wish, but you get your wish, but there's always like some back end repercussions that happened.
Well, not only that, but like when you have like sexual ritual abuse and you have like these things that go on in the music industry, drugs and all that stuff, if you get them to become mentally insane, it makes their story less believable.
Yeah.
When they come out against you and they try to file lawsuits, it's like, oh, well, she's fucking insane, so can't believe her.
I would like to know when it really switched. Like, when was I know we could say it's been there the whole time, but I don't know if it has or hasn't. I'm just curious, like, when was the switch of, like, real evil? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a part of me that's like, okay, think of the 60s, 70s. You hear the stories of the bands on tour and the crazy shit that's going on, like the rock star lifestyle, right? I don't think that necessarily was ritual. That was, like, the party life. You know what I'm saying? You were going town to town. You were banging chicks all the time. You were doing drugs all the time. And when we hear about those and talk about those people now, it's like, oh, the Rolling Stones, like, fucking, remember the fucking fish in Seattle where they fucking shoved a fish up a girl's vagina or whatever it was?
What?
Yeah, that's something like that happened. But the point is we all
Doesn't
go
that
like,
happen all the time in like China porn?
yeah, it does.
I don't know. I heard there's like a section for that on.
Tentacles and shit.
But see, my thing is
Yeah,
was that
Pornhub.
just bands and groupies doing crazy shit, or was that part of a bigger scheme? And when did it actually change? Like, when did this whole thing where they all
Get
just started to
manipulated.
go like, hey, we're going to actually manipulate all the new talent that's coming in? You know what I'm saying? It's not just
I think the intelligence agencies, I mean, if you look at them dipping their toes into like the Grateful Dead for distributing LSD, you have them in like Courtney Love. There's some strong evidence that they influenced her to get Kurt Cobain addicted to heroin, spread around drugs throughout the whole alternative rock music. So like they plant themselves. I mean, if you look at the Doors, like the singer of the Doors, his dad was a CIA guy. So like they come from families that are like this, and they're just involved. And I think that the CIA can steer like what is popular
Taylor Swift.
if they want to. You know what I mean? They can start trends, and they can start fashion, and they can start like hip hop, whatever, right?
I mean, even Elvis Presley became an honorary member of the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you still have to have talent.
put your hands up.
You still have to have talent, though.
And don't put them down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a weird thing. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, Joe Rogan's thing, but he's true. Like, they still have talent, which is like, that's the part, you know, like, is the talent really there, and could they have done it without it, or is it not? I've always said, even like Taylor Swift, I'm like, there's more to it than just her being, she's not that good, in my opinion. But like,
well, you know what's really opened my eyes to that, dude? Like, America's Got Talent, all these talent shows,
yeah,
where I'm hearing people fucking phenomenal, and I'm going,
amazing singers.
Why are you not? And like, they look good too. It's like not just like, you know, it's the whole package, and you're like, okay, so why aren't you going anywhere? Did you decide not to sign your soul, or what is this?
Well, listen, here's the deal. There's, and this is actually a good point, because I think you're right on this. There's amazing singers on there. The problem with them, and why some may or may not go places, is they aren't actually musicians. I'm just being honest. They're great singers who can't write their own shit, who can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like karaoke at best, right? Phenomenal. We've met people that are great at karaoke. Like they're really, really good. And you're like, damn, the guy's got a good voice, but he can't go write a fucking hit.
Yeah, but you don't need to.
You don't need to write songs, dude. Like they have professional songwriters for that.
I understand. I understand that to an extent, but
you got to just sing the song, and if you can make money, fuck yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't know if that whole thing is just not. It's not the real path to getting what you want. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
I mean,
the whole
you
game
look
show,
at,
like Kelly Clarkson obviously did things. You know what I'm saying? Going forward, she was on one of those shows. She did
I
things.
feel like
Daughtry,
there's
you know?
not very many that have gone through. Like they're on what? I think a new season of that American Idol just started, right? Well, they're on season like 20.
Well, Benson
or something.
Boone. I mean, he's huge right now.
Morgan Wallen, right?
Morgan Wallen. Well, he tried out. I don't know if he really went really far, but there's definitely people that come from it. I just think the music industry is tough. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. It's not just as like, oh, he looks good and he sounds good. I think there's more to it. I think those, like, Taylor Swift has a whole story. You know what I mean? Like, people are interested in her. I don't know why, but they do. You know they do. You go to any shop in Austin. It's like there's shit, like a whole section of like Taylor Swift stickers. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, who gives a fuck about this shit? But girls, I want that for my my Stanley that everybody has. You know what I mean? Like, it's true. It's just fads. This is all it is.
Yeah, but the Taylor Swift, I don't think that's a fad, dude.
They're
that's
pushing that. They're pushing that. Government.
There's something weird with that.
All right, man.
Like she had like what, all of her songs in the top 10. She was the only artist to ever have all the songs in the top 10 belong to her at one time.
Yeah.
Like that never fucking happens, dude. She's not that good. I'm sorry. She's not that good.
It's a culty kind of fan base, you know, and like a lot of bands have it, just not to her extent. You know what I mean? There's culty fan bases all over the place, but there is something to be said about how much all the radio stations in the country play her. And like, you don't think that's coordinated? That's what I've been trying to tell my wife. I'm like, she wouldn't be where she's at if they didn't play her song every 10 minutes at the radio station constantly. You know,
when you saw what she did with the elections, you know, for Joe Biden, for I think it was just Joe Biden, right?
And
what 2020.
what she did for the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
Piss people off. Piss people off. Yeah. All right, man. You ready?
Yes.
Good stuff, though, man. So what's the deal? You think this guy's he's gonna get charged? I think he'll get charged.
Get charged?
Oh yeah.
They're definitely
with a bullet.
With the bullet? How long, man?
Yeah.
How long?
Do you think he actually makes it into a courtroom?
Yeah, so they're going to try to like throw this case, but if it's going the wrong way, if he gets convicted, he dies.
I don't even know if he gets convicted. I think if he's just on trial, he's not going to even make it through the trial, dude.
I think if they're going to if he's actually involved and he knows some shit, if they try to bring him on the stand and question him, he's going to disappear.
Because that's a RICO case, dude. That's how they bring him down, you know?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Happy Wednesday. We will be back Friday for a call-in show, everybody. So make sure you get on Patreon, sign up if you're not, and call in, ask questions. It's a good time.
Or just bring up a topic.
There you go.
Don't even have to ask a question. Bring up a topic and say, hey, what do you think about this?
All right, Greg. Good seeing you, man.
Later, guys.
Peace.